Hey, what's going on out there, man? It's Wednesday night. It's prime time, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. It's time for y'all to get lit up with this 95 North Sports crew. Me, my boy Kev, my boy Chris, boy Berto had to take the night off, man. He got personal business to take care of. But one thing I will say, man, I keep my boy in your prayers, man, because prayers
Sure.
are always needed, no matter what the situation is. But let's get into this preview, man. New Orleans Saints, Atlanta Falcons, round two from New Orleans, man. If y'all watch the NFC South roundtable, man, y'all know I already went in on this topic. But again, um, I gotta know y'all quick thoughts before we get into this recap of last week's game with the Dallas Cowboys. I gotta get y'all thoughts, man, because what did y'all think about the trade deadline and the Falcons not making a move? I know what I thought about it, but I want to know what y'all think about it. I'm gonna start with you, Kev, and we're gonna keep it rolling. Clean your
let's
thumb.
let's just yeah, right. Let's just keep it simple. Did I want them to make a move? Of course. I would have loved for them to add a piece. But the way the chips were falling down, I'm not upset at Terry, especially with the reports of the Giants being greedy on that high draft pick for Aziz, who they're trying to capitalize on this one productive year. Don't get me wrong, Aziz would have been nice here as a rotational piece. I think he would have taken some snaps away from James Smith-Williams, but I'm not mad at it. If it was a big home run play, like a Trey Hendrickson, Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, if that was in play and Terry didn't go all in, yeah, I'd be upset. But all in all, we're fine. I know everyone's anxious for the pass rush. I actually told this to someone that made a comment, why can't our defensive line be like our offensive line? Well, our offensive line, for those of you that are diehards and follow the team, it was built over time. It wasn't built over one offseason. It took trial and error before we found the five guys that actually made the most impact. So it's going to be the same thing for the defensive line. And it started with this year's draft when we took all those defensive linemen. So I'm not upset about the trade deadline.
Chris, go ahead.
Well, we talked about it when it was going down, man. I didn't have a problem at all. It comes to time where you have to go all in, and a time where you kind of got to hold what you got. And that's exactly what Terry did, man. I mean, he's made other moves for the Atlanta Falcons salary cap, signing guys, draft picks, and whether they hit or miss, so we still have some that has hit. I believe he's going to hang his hat on his past experiences and also knowing when to pull the trigger and when not to help get his extension. So I wasn't mad at all. Of course, I wanted them to make a move. Hell yeah, still do. But at the end of the day, I understand what's going on, and you don't go ahead and just mortgage the farm.
And I'm gonna recap a little bit. There you go. That point blank what it comes down to. And you got to think about the upcoming off season. After the season is over, you got guys on the roster like Justin Simmons, who's going to need a new deal. You have Matthew Judon, who I think may end up, being a one and done in Atlanta. And I know y'all saying we wasted a third round pick, but as I was told by one of my followers, you get a compensation pick for a guy like that. So you really don't lose anything. So at the end of the day, you just got a lot of contracts to work with, and why complicate things when you're at 6-3 and you winning with the line with the roster that you have. And as you saw against Dallas, you can just keep switching it up until you figure out the right rotation, and just keep building that way. But speaking of Dallas, man, Dallas Cowboys, man, 27-21. It really wasn't as close as what the score indicated, because the Falcons had the game won at halftime, to be honest. There were a lot of questionable play calls in this game, man, from both sides. But I think the Falcons clamped down when they needed to. Y'all know the second half adjustments, all that good stuff. You look at Kirk Cousins, 222 yards and 3 touchdowns. I'm glad he don't have as much pressure on him as he had a couple of weeks ago against Tampa when he threw for 500 yards. They're balancing it out, and now you see Bijan another game over 100 yards from scrimmage. I think that's his 4th in a row. So what do y'all think about this Atlanta Falcons offense? Have they found their stride, or can they still find ways to grow? What's y'all quick thoughts on that?
I think they've found their stride really well. The only thing that I think they can improve on offensively is the run scheme. I've said it from week one, is just the creativeness, and not just creativeness, but the ability to switch up. I really think if we switched from just strictly an outside zone and inside zone team to more split zone run schemes, duo, let our offensive linemen double team and tee off. I mean, hell, we've seen Chris Lindstrom and Caleb McGarry drive guys 10 yards, 15 yards down the field together. So why not allow them to do that and let Tyler and Bijan find that hole, cut back, whatever, because those two guys are so dynamic. So really, that's the only gripe I have. I think Zach Robinson was in his bag against Dallas. I think he can do the same thing against New Orleans, because they've had injuries, yes, but that defense, even with Dennis Allen there, it's kind of fallen off. And I don't expect them. Yeah, they have the energy from their interim, but I don't think they're going to make a huge jump in 1 week.
Agreed.
Yeah, man. I enjoy what the Falcons are doing. We know Zach Robinson, we had to give him some time, right? And now he's starting to, put it all together for us. The Falcons offense is like one of the best offenses in the league. Let's just go ahead and say it. It really is, and it has potential to get better. As Kev was saying, you start mixing up with the run schemes, and you also like getting the balls out to your playmakers. It's really pick your poison. And I enjoy the offense. It's going to be some games to where maybe Kyle Pitts is the guy. Maybe Drake London is the guy. It's really going off of the flow of how the game is going. And I'm cool with that, because we got guys that can make plays all over the field. Zach is starting to really get in his bag, just like Bro said. So expect the offense to continue to get better. And, Bro, he may get more creative, but once he gets more comfortable, because that's what he's doing now. He's getting more comfortable. We're seeing that week in and week out now. So enjoying what I'm seeing.
Take the run game coordinator away from Dwayne Ledford. Do it. Let him coach the O-line. Don't let him make up the scheme for the team.
Right. I agree with that. But against Dallas, like I said, Bijan Robinson had another great game on offense. The offensive line is still playing very strong. Kirk Cousins still upright. But right quick against Dallas, and we saw it with Dak Prescott going out with that hamstring injury. And if y'all didn't hear the news, he had a pretty severe hamstring injury. Part of his hamstring came off the bone, so he could be done for the year. And if I'm him, I would want to sit the rest of the year to let it heal all the way.
Absolutely.
But this defense, 3 sacks against Dallas. Have we turned that corner, or have we found something to build on? We saw D'Angelo Malone get a tackle for a loss. He was flying all over the field. Yes, there's still a lot left to be desired with that kid, but I think all he needs is the reps. Arnold Ebiketie had a very solid game. Grady Jarrett, before he went out with an injury, had a very solid game. Have they found what's going on with this defensive line, or just keep working until something becomes foundational?
I think, man, they're sticking to their guns, sticking to what they've been telling us in the press conferences. They want to, believe in the guys that they have. They want to, like Arthur said, raise their own children, so to speak. And we're seeing that against the Dallas Cowboys. 3 sacks. That was a beautiful thing to see from 3 different players on top of that. So it's just like we're doing that by committee thing. It was great to see Grady. Definitely great to see AK. And also good to see D'Angelo Malone out there. But Caden Ellis, you found what you should be doing with Caden Ellis, okay? Let that man get out there on that edge and let him run out there like a wild man. And then you possibly maybe getting Troy Anderson back this week. So just we're going to see how that works out too. But yeah, man, they're sticking to their guns. And that's another reason why another desperate move wasn't made at the trade deadline, because they believe in their guys. They believe they're about to turn the corner. And as Falcon fans, whether we like it or not, we have to stay patient and see if it really comes to fruition or not. But they're hanging their hat on it.
That's the biggest thing, is patience. We haven't had success in 7 years, and people are like, well, we could have been 8-1, we could have been 9-0. Well, like, we're 6-3. Raheem is trying to build a culture in that locker room. Zach Robinson, you already had the pieces there. Now it's, it took a few weeks and you got them grooving. And the same thing could be said for Jimmy Lake. Of course, we all get frustrated with his play calling, his personnel, but it's a growing process. because I think his scheme will really take off when you have those dominant pass rushers, elite edge rushers, and then just the space eaters. But as far as pass rush goes, I think Chris hit the nail on the head. You got to let those guys keep developing. AK saw the most amount of snaps percentage-wise when it came to total snaps. So pass rush, he dropped in coverage a couple times. He looked good. I would like for him to develop his pass rush skill set a little bit more, but he was making a lot of effort tackles, a lot of effort sacks. He was very close from hitting a second or third sack in that game. And then, yeah, Caden Ellis, a lot of twists, a lot of stunts. I want to see them. I don't know why they haven't done this, or at least I haven't seen it, is the pick play. You know, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Where a defensive lineman is shooting inside, they'll take their guy, but then they'll pick the other man. So now they've eaten up two guys, and that's Caden. You need to get him free because he has that closing speed. I can't tell you how many hits he had on Dak that really rushed his throws because he had that free run. And then Troy's speed. Now you have another guy you can send on the blitz. You don't only send Caden. I mean, Nate Landman, we love you here. We love what you've done, but you just don't have the speed that Troy does to be able to effectively rush the passer. So D'Angelo Malone, I was a little disappointed by his performance. It could be because of the lack of snaps in the NFL, a lot of special teams. We've seen how great of a special teams guy he is because that's what he's done since he's been a rookie. So maybe they continue to do that. And then it was nice to see Damone Harris lined up next to the edge guys, even though he's an edge guy, but he's a bigger edge guy, so he could eat up space. You saw the coaching staff. It's like, we're going to put our best pass rushers in there to try and get the quarterback, and the pressure was getting there, and we came away with a few sacks.
Yeah, Damone, he has something to prove, y'all.
Oh, no,
Oh, yeah. But one thing about Damone Harris, y'all got to understand, he's a proven veteran in this league. And as I told one of my buddies the other day, man, he's a Super Bowl champion. So you know what kind of pedigree it takes to win a Super Bowl, coming over from Kansas City. And now I think they have a nice foundation to build on. And we talked about Caden Ellis. This is the reason why they got him from New Orleans, because they knew they were going to need pass rush help. So now when J.D. Bertrand comes out of concussion protocol, Troy Anderson comes back. He comes back from that knee injury. Now you got a guy you can put on the outside while those two man the middle. And let's not forget Rashaan Evans, who's also familiar with this core players from his time here 2 years ago. So now, I know,
bro's a big fan of Rashad.
I liked it when he was here his first go around, but now,
I mean, we got other guys.
I'm just saying, but it's depth.
It's depth.
So hey, that's all I'm saying. But they have a nice foundation, man, to build on from that pass rush during this game. So now all they have to do figure out what personnel goes with what. And I think we may be cooking with fish grease. And playing a team like New Orleans coming up this week, whose offensive line is banged up as well. Derek Carr, who if he has to carry New Orleans, this game will be over by halftime.
Well, that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing, is making him carry. Just like we want Baker to beat us, we want Derek Carr to beat us.
We want Derek Carr. Yeah.
But shout out to our boy Berto. He said here's another take. Falcons do better with late round picks than early picks. Terry Fontenot and staff could value those late round picks more than anything, and I agree with that 100%. And that's been a thing with the.
That's been a thing.
Hold on. Let's look at the first round picks for Terry. Kyle, Drake, Bijan, okay, and then Penix, which of course Penix hasn't played in NFL. So that's an early round picks that have been successful. I think what Berto's saying is the second round. Yeah, I think that's what. Okay,
yeah, that second and third round has been a little
third probably tricky.
Little SS tricky. Yeah, been a little SS. Hey, another point though too about the defense, fellas. Just another quick point about the defense on why the Birds probably stayed pat. Other than the Seahawks game, bro, we don't give up a lot of points in the second half. We're a better second half team. We make the adjustments, and whatever they're saying in the locker room to the guys, they're buying in, and they're shutting guys down. They're shutting teams down. Like I said, outside of the Seahawks game, we have been shutting down teams, and teams have not been able to just tee off on the Falcons. So that's another thing just to take in consideration too. They see success and they like, we don't have to go out and make a desperate move. We're not a desperate team. We're winning the division. We're a third in the conference. We're tied for the best record in the conference with the Lions. We have a lot of good things going for ourselves. There's no need to go ahead and sell the house.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
53-3. Early score prediction here for the Dirty Bird Nest.
I got to start out and bring that one back later on in the show.
Man, what?
But yeah, man, that Dallas game, it really catapulted us. And I think going against the next two games, which both could be trap games, because Denver has a good defense, and New Orleans, just because it's a rivalry game, we all know, throw the records and the stats out the window. They may come in and play hard for that coach, and who knows? So that's why I said they come in early, knock them out. But let's slide on into that New Orleans games. Since we got Dallas out the way, let's slide on into New Orleans. We going into New Orleans, man, 6-3. They on a 7-game losing streak, and I think last week they just lost that game to get rid of Dennis Allen. So now they may have a new mindset coming into this game. We talked about Derek Carr, but one person we got to worry about, and I've said this, Alvin Kamara, we all know, last week, over 200 yards from scrimmage, had a hell of a game.
Yeah.
Now, you look at what's going on against New Orleans, and I talked about Derek Carr, but y'all right quick. Y'all give me y'all thoughts on what we're going to have to do defensively against this New Orleans Saints offense.
Go ahead, bro.
The simple answer is obviously stop Alvin Kamara. And the way you do that is set the edge. They like the outside zone just like we do. They like it more in a toss pattern. They play action pass off of it. So if you can limit the outside runs, you stop one. But the guy that left the game in the first matchup against the Falcons has returned healthy. One of the most annoying players to watch because it seems like no one figured out how to tackle him. And that's key. Do not let him get going downhill. And when you have a chance to make a tackle, wrap up. I'm tired of seeing guys just fling bodies at him. He's a big guy. As much as I don't want to give him praise, he's a big guy. That's not enough to bring him down. If you can limit the run, we're going to get better because Troy's going to be back. Okay. Like Jimmy Lake has kind of figured out, because you saw it in the Dallas game. He was running a lot more 5-man fronts, and not just with Caden on the edge. He was having Ebiketie and Judon with 3 down linemen. So he is committing to stopping the run. I'd like to see a more 6-man front like we saw the Chiefs try and do against the Buccaneers. That was them saying, you're not going to beat us with the run. You're going to beat us through the air. And if we can do that, Derek Carr has no Chris Olave. He has no Rashid Shaheed. He's going to make mistakes. Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons, one of them will get a pick 6.
Agreed.
Yeah, indeed. Man, Chris, you have you got, their receiver is going to be like Cedric Wilson Jr. And honestly, you can't let him be a guy that breaks out and do anything. I don't believe that we will. I believe we're going to come into this game disciplined, because we learned from the Seahawks game. I believe we really did, and we got to continue to get better. This is a perfect game to put your foot on the gas and take care of business, man. Seriously. Shout out to Debo. What's going on, Debo?
Debo vibes. What's up, man?
Because because it's Falcons and Saints, we're going to get the Saints' best shot, however it is, their best swing. We're going to get it. And
how many weeks have we been doing this show? It's the Aints. It's the Aints on this show, man. Come on.
My huge mistake. What the Aints are going to try to do is swing and give us their best shot. We're divisional rivals, say hate week, rivalry week, whatever you want to call it. But so we got to be disciplined, y'all. We got to stop there. We got to stop Alvin Kamara, make them one-dimensional. Derek Carr, I don't believe in any stratosphere, any millennial that he can beat us, especially with that defense and especially with the pieces that we're getting back on defense. And, of course, on offense, man, control the time of possession, make it easy on yourself. Let those running backs tee off. Let Tyler Algier get him some of that Louisiana gumbo on his cleats or something, man. You know, hey, I'm just saying we can make it easy for ourselves this game while we're also fine tuning. That's all, man. Use the Aints as a stepping stone, man. Make them 2-8. The 2-8
Yeah,
Aints. I love it.
yeah.
Sound got a little ring to it,
Eh,
don't you think?
Oh yeah, it does.
Hey man, and it's the second week in a row that we playing a team that can't stop the run. So just take advantage of it. I would love to see Tyler Algier a little bit more in this game because we played the
I
Saints the
would.
first time. He had a pretty good game. So you go follow that game plan again. You talk about a team that's giving up, I think, 150 yards rushing the game and
Yep.
376 yards total a game. So you would be
Bro,
able to
they give
pass,
up
you would be able to run.
6 yards per play. They give up
That's
an average
crazy.
of 6 yards per play.
That is crazy. I mean, look, yeah, how can you be an NFL team giving up that kind of yards a play? I mean,
I'm
a
just
play.
saying, bro.
So I
Six
mean, look,
yards per play.
one thing that for sure, I think Kirk Cousins will be clean this game because Granderson, Cam Jordan, those guys up front, last couple of weeks they've been non-existent. The age is starting to show. Demario Davis, he had a pretty good game last week, but at the same time, with Kirk Cousins the way he's playing the last month, he's probably the best quarterback in the NFC the last 4 games. So he's getting into rhythm with the play action. And like I said, if they run the football, giving up 376 yards a game, Kirk Cousins should have probably a 300-yard game too. So this is
Man,
why I
let's drop
said,
a 40 burger on these boys, man. Why
right,
not?
that's why I said they might as well come out, hit them in the mouth. And if they do that, jump out to a fast start, they won't catch up because, like I said, if you're going to force Derek Carr to beat you, I think you have an excellent chance to win. Shut down Alvin Kamara, shut down Taysom Hill, shut down that run game, and force Derek Carr to beat you. Hey, that's the key to victory for the whole game. So look,
Right.
but as far as we talked about the pass rush against Dallas, against this
Right.
offense, what guy do you think needs to step up the most on defense against this team?
Hmm.
Go ahead, Chris.
I'm gonna go with AK. You know what I'm saying? Build off of the game versus Dallas. See if you can start like stacking sacks, you know what I'm saying, against these teams, you know what I'm saying, showing that you are that pass rusher that we need, that we don't need to go out and make no drastic moves because we got some in-house. You know, you're just a late bloomer. I would love to see him build off of what he did against the pressures and the quarterback hits. I would love to see AK build on it. We need to see our young guys build so we can know what we have. And that's what we've been talking about on the show, period. See what you have. So, AK, you know, I would love to see you, you know what I'm saying, generate something on that pass rush. Of course, you know, we want the whole entire line to do something, but AK, I mean, you got to be that guy. You do.
I'm gonna go to the guy that's gonna be playing and hasn't played since the first matchup. It's Troy. I need that speed on that edge. Man, going back and watching the film from the first matchup, it was evident how much of an impact Troy had being able to avoid those blocks, those offensive linemen trying to reach him and get to Kamara and at least hold him for the rest of the defense to come in and clean up the tackle.
Right.
The Falcons have severely missed it. We've talked about it on previous shows. Nate Landman doesn't look like himself. It could be because of the new defensive scheme. He could be more hurt than they're telling us, and he's just playing through it. Who knows? But Troy's speed, the ability to get to the edge and recognize as quickly as he is, because that game he figured it out. And in coverage, covering Kamara, I mean, that's gonna be huge, a huge boost. I know Jesse and Justin will appreciate it. You know, watching it in front of them, they won't have to worry as much up in front of them.
It'd be interesting to see D'Angelo Malone too, man, and see if he get any more snaps this game too, because
he should.
We're talking about speed. We're just saying like Malone and Anderson out there. You got two guys that got speed and athleticism.
I need more effort out of Malone. I'm sorry, the effort was not on film. He needs more effort out there.
But it may be snaps, just like we were saying before. It may be snaps.
Yeah, because sometimes if you're not getting the proper snaps, you could be out there on the field lost like you don't even know what's going on. So it wasn't an effort, it's just being lost in the playbook. So I guess that's what they were telling us when they say he need to earn his way on the field. So they let us see it firsthand. So now I get it.
Right.
But Christian Lewis said the Aints desperate for a win. And members of their team said the best way to redeem themselves is to win against the Falcons. And that's a great point. And y'all please go check Christy out. Lady Birds or AFN. Christy, drop it in the chat and I'll put it up on the screen. But her and the ladies, they do their thing, man. We have women that talk Falcon football too. So y'all please go check that out. Lady Birds or AFN. But again, that is a great point, man. Once Troy gets to going in Landman, I hate to see it, bro talk, but I think that is the problem. He just don't fit the scheme. He's a 4-3 line. He's a 4-3 linebacker. He used to got big guys in front of him. When he has to move and cover and do all this stuff, hey, maybe that might be a little bit too much for him. So I mean, maybe that's why they only signed him to a 1 year deal.
You know, he's a downhill thumper, so you know it's just maybe he's thinking too much. You know, I mean, he may be thinking too much instead of just reading and reacting.
Tony, right? I agree with that 100%. And I've been saying for the last 2-3 weeks, I would love to see Richie Grant play in the box because he can play that slot pretty good, and he can play the run well. But when it comes to coverage, we know he sucks. And I'm gonna just keep it real.
We saw it a little bit in Dallas. I don't know if you guys saw it.
Right, I saw it. I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. So yeah. 40 points back from the January game.
You know what? Going back to New Orleans,
that 40 burger on them, man.
It's time to be petty, man.
Dixon Reed.
Hey, that would be ultra petty, especially how they did us scoring. What they had 48 points.
Yeah.
Shout out to our boy Breeze. Shout out to our boy Breeze. But y'all know how we get to going, man. Key matchups. What's a key matchup in this game, right quick?
Darnell Mooney versus their secondary. Darnell Mooney, it's not a guarantee that we're going to have Drake London. I'm still, waiting to see what it's going to look like moving toward the game.
I would let him sit, honestly.
I
would let him sit after the bye week, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's funny that you said that too, because I think that what may happen with Drew Dahlman. I think they may hold Dahlman out until like after the bye week, just because how well Ryan Newzeal has been playing. If he struggles this particular game like bad, I can see, maybe the next week they bring Dahlman back against the Broncos. But if he's still playing well, it's almost like sticking to that formula and believing in the guy right there and giving the next guy who is the starter some time to rest and come back fully. And you don't have to worry about, is this guy playing hurt? Or is this guy, having a hobble? You can also actually be fully healthy and you just had a quality backup, to take the place. So, I mean, but yeah, Darnell Mooney, man, against their secondary, I believe that he's going to be able to have a big game. They just traded away Lattimore, which was their best corner. So I mean, they believe in what's my man name? I don't remember his name, but
Alante Taylor.
Yeah. They believe in him. I don't. Not against Darnell Mooney. So
and you gotta think too. Adebo is out for the year with a knee injury as well. So they hurt in that secondary.
That's the guy that I actually believe he has.
It's gonna be Alante Taylor and Kool-Aid McKinstry out there for him.
Ooh, boy, that's gonna be.
I like Kool-Aid, but it's time to what I'm saying. We're gonna have to get
roasted crawfish. That's roasted crawfish.
There you go.
100% what that is. Yeah, I'm looking at. I mean, you could take your pick on who you want. I'd like to see Kyle Pitts, and
right.
I want him to put I don't think he's put 100 on New Orleans. Like Tony G did back in the day. I think even Austin Hooper had 100 on him. And I'd like to see one of our tight ends just bully the linebackers and safeties. Tyrann Mathieu. I like him as a player. I hate him as an 8, but I'd like to see him, because Kirk's getting comfortable with checking down to him in the flat. Pitts is finding his groove with those chip blocks and just turning his head, knowing that he is that check down guy and he can break it. Kirk said it. The reason they were able to score that second touchdown was because of the effort Pitts got, that yak he got on that third down that said, okay, you know what? Let's go for it. And then it turned out to be a touchdown. That's a huge swing for the Falcons. Right. So, yeah, Kyle Pitts, I haven't had him as my, X factor for this game. I'm gonna pick him. And then defensively, I talked about it earlier. It's Troy Anderson. I need the energy. I need the speed, not just speed, but he is a hard-hitting linebacker too. I mean, the guy's they say it all the time. He's a freak athlete, and I'm just ready for the. Should we call him the sheriff, the storm, or the what's it called, state trooper? I need my state trooper. I need my state trooper in the middle of the in the middle of the defense. But yeah, him stopping Kamara and Taysom Hill, that's going to be crucial for the Falcons to really have success against the New Orleans Aints. And we don't need to give them a glimmer of hope in this game because we know they're going to come with energy. I mean, Raheem talked about it. Kirk talked about it in 2020 when Dan Quinn was fired. Raheem's first game was against Kirk in Minnesota, and the Falcons hung 40 on the Vikings and really kicked their butt. So we don't need that to happen to Atlanta. Could you call it a trap game? Yes. Raheem doesn't believe in it. He just believes in going in and handling your business, which I agree upon. Stick to your game plan. Know what you can do and execute, because this isn't the same New Orleans Aints team. They've hung on to the meat on the bone, and there's no more meat on that bone. They are going to be in a full rebuild finally, and they're going to be bad for a long time. So it's time. They're down, and it's time to kick them while they're down.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Stomp them in the ground.
Exactly.
I agree with Tremel. I'm gonna take Kyle Pitts as my key matchup because I don't think their linebacker can cover him, and two, Tyrann Mathieu sure can't cover him because he's over the hill with age. He doesn't even look like the same Tyrann Mathieu. So I think Kyle Pitts is going to be more key to anybody. And like you said, that 100-yard game, he could have got 100 yards against Tampa, but he pulled that stunt and they took him out the game the second half. So he fought that himself. But this game, Kyle Pitts could be the key. But I'm gonna go Bijan. Well, I go for him, my X factor. But Kyle Pitts against the secondary, that's a good one because I don't think they can stop him. No linebacker can stop Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts stops himself. You saw that against Tampa when he didn't want to cross the damn goal line. So he's always in his own damn way.
And got his behind set down too for it, as he should have.
And they are wearing paper bags in New Orleans again. So happy days are here again.
Hence the name. I'm waiting for someone to have it on their paper bag. Aints. And I'm taking a picture, and I'm going to make sure I tag our good friend TJ from the other side.
Gotta tag TJ. Gotta tag him.
Man.
Like, man, hey, good buddy.
Hey, man, he was so happy. He was so happy when Dennis Allen got fired. He almost cried.
Disappointed in the Aints. I was so disappointed.
And they would fire him on the week that we play him. Hey,
that's right.
Man.
I think that was done on purpose too. Because my thing is, you look at it like this: they really would have laid down if he still was the coach right now.
Yeah,
be like,
pretty much.
Man, it didn't work against the Panthers. Maybe if we just let the Falcons blow us out by 70, that got it. Hey, you still may get blown out.
Let's get into the X factors right quick, man. And I'm gonna start it off because I went with Kyle Pitts on my key matchup. But my X factor, I think it's gonna be Bijan again. 4 straight games, 100 yards from scrimmage. I think he can make it 5 real easy. And this may be the game where he explodes and probably runs for 150 yards. And the reason why I say that, the way the play action is going to be working this game, they're not going to know which way the Falcons are coming. So Bijan, this game, I think eats. I think he gets at least 125 rushing and at least 50 yards receiving. So I'm gonna give him 175 yards from scrimmage because, like I said, they're giving up 376 yards a game. So you got to take advantage of that. And the way Kirk Cousins is playing, if Bijan doesn't get the football to play action, they're going to hit the same deep every chance they get. So look, Darnell Mooney could have a big game. It's just so many ways that this game can go. Because as I looked at that depleted team last week against Carolina, they just looked defeated. So now, hey, it's time to just start trusting the process, rebuilding. I see Bijan as my X factor.
Okay. Well, I know I gave y'all one of my X factors already. It was Arnold Abracadabra this game. Stack those performances, get some confidence, and give the Falcons some sacks, man. We need sacks, man. So you're a young bull on the team, saying go ahead and get the sacks, man. So Arnold Abracadabra on defense. Offense, I'm gonna say Kirk Cousins, and it's not as crazy as you think. Kirk you're already loved in Atlanta. Let's just keep it real already. You want to really cement yourself, go ahead and drop these Aints right where they stand. Go ahead and bring out another broom and sweep the Aints. The Bucks were great to sweep. You sweep the Aints, now we're putting yourself in a different stratosphere, my brother. You have all, yeah, I know, man. Not well. We'll talk about that. But yeah, man, just Kirk Cousins. Go ahead.
Keith. Hey Keith, I ain't got no super chat. I got demonetized, so I won't be back to being monetized until after Christmas.
Yeah, man.
But
come on,
we working on it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we working on it, man. It's all good. I do it for the love anyway, not the money.
There you go. There you go. Chris, did you wrap up your thoughts?
Yeah, I guess he did. Go ahead, Kel.
Well, what I was going to say on Kirk Cousins, already being loved, he's received more national attention and love and media grab than Matt Ryan ever did in his 14 years in Atlanta, which is crazy.
Crazy.
Because Matt Ryan was doing this year in and year out. It's just, Kirk is that knight in shining armor coming to save the Falcons. He turned around the offense with Zach
you know that ad lib got him that fame. When you like that,
Oh yeah,
you like that.
You like that.
Yeah,
he's swag surfing and he's talking about talk your trap, walk into your trap. Doing all these things. That Matt Ryan, I love Matt Ryan, but Matt Ryan was very professional to a T. He was just cut and dry professional. But
hey, he was himself though.
Yeah, he was himself.
He was himself. He never tried to be nothing that he wasn't, and I love it. You know what I'm saying? Same thing for Kirk. Kirk just has that alter ego, and it's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? He welcomes it.
Kirk Cousins is the vanilla ice of quarterbacks. He just got he just got that type of personality, man.
He does. He's got that second personality that comes out, when he's around his teammates. He's very, very, polo jeans wearing type dad, but when he gets around his teammates, that alter ego comes out. Kirk O'Chains comes out, and I think that's why the city loves him so much, and the media loves him. I talked about a couple players that I think were going to be key matchups, but my main X factor is going to be Jesse Bates and AJ Terrell. I think both of them can have an interception. Derek Carr is going to have the weight of the world because, the expectations have gone significantly low. But of course, the fan base for the other side, the Aints, the dark side, they want to beat us because of the rivalry. So the pressure is going to be on him to perform and at least get this victory. Well, that's where players like Jesse Bates and AJ Terrell can take advantage. And like I said earlier, maybe a pick six in their house this time.
That was Matt.
Get in the MFN field. Yeah, you know what? Matt Ryan did have some fire under him. Get effing set. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, I'm glad you said AJ and Jesse because I think Kate is going to contribute to those interceptions. I think you need to build on that what he did last week. 6 pressures last week, and against a banged up Saints line, like I said earlier. I think it's going to cause Derek Carr all kind of problems, which is why I think you will see them running Taysom Hill as much as they can this game because they always know we have problems stopping it. Yeah. So that's what you need the game plan for. Yeah. You don't game plan for Derek Carr, you game plan for Taysom Hill. Because he's the momentum. He's going to be the only momentum that they have outside of Alvin Kamara. Kamara, I think, had 42 yards the first game against the Falcons. I don't see him being a factor in this game either. And we all know before Taysom Hill went out in that first game, he was running all over us again. So you have to make him the focal point of the guy to hone in on, and I think K. Ellis is going to have to be that guy. If Troy Anderson comes back, he will have to do the same. But those linebackers are going to have to contain Taysom Hill. So that's going to be my defensive X factor. Carr caught a lot of heat for a lot of it. Yes, he did.
He's known for throwing hospital balls.
Oh yeah. I don't see how Devontae Adams put up with it like he did because that was tough to watch.
You lose. I mean, you lose the respect. You lose the respect and trust from your other receivers. It's like, I'm not going up for that. You're trying to get me killed. That's what made players like Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, all those greats, because they were looking to protect their receivers, and that's how you earn respect and trust. And I think sadly for Falcon fans, this is the last year we see Derek Carr as the starter. But
I think so.
But
I don't know, man.
We take full advantage of it this year.
What? Cause they owe him like $60 million next year, right?
Well, you keep him on your roster, but you look elsewhere.
Right.
You eat the cap. You have him there as a backup. Like, you know what? You'll be a good backup. Maybe we go draft. I mock draft. What's his name? Jalen Milroe. Because right now they're sitting at the 3rd overall pick, and if they lose again, they're going to stay there or climb. So they're going to go quarterback. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but I think they'll go Carson.
So no
Beck.
belief in Spencer.
You think they go Carson Beck?
Yep. Because he fits.
I hope so. Go ahead.
I hope so. I hope so too.
No. But I'm saying he's the type quarterback that they want. They don't like mobile quarterbacks. Yeah, they had Aaron Brooks back in the day, but that was before Sean Payton.
You got to think about it. It's Clint Kubiak who's calling the show, right? That's Sean Payton. Clint Kubiak runs in the pocket, slight boot action play call, where Jalen Milroe, he wants to be that pocket passer, which Carson Beck is too.
But could Milroe grow as a quarterback in the NFL? I'm looking at him in college right now, and I see his field awareness is not very good.
Well,
yes, he can make throws, but if that's the case, and you thinking about getting Milroe, you might as well just go get what's his name from New England, Milton.
Oh yeah.
Joe Milton. Yeah.
Well, I digress, because we're not trying to improve the Aints. We want them to suck.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm
just saying.
Forever.
That's right.
But Drew D, man, I agree that Taysom Hill Wildcat. We're gonna see a lot of that on Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just keep it real.
Be ready for that.
And you got to think with Grady possible. Well, he say he's going to try to go Sunday, but we'll see. But if Grady is out, it's going to be a long day when it comes to that, because they're going to chew up clock.
Zach Harrison, put him in there.
I'm about to say Zach Harrison, Brandon Dorless, TQ Graham. We got guys to, I'm saying that. So, Grady can really rest if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go out there and stress it.
Right.
Agreed. But look, it's that time of the show, man. Get them predictions in, man. Predictions. And this is my favorite part of the show, because I got one that I had to start already. That Dirty Bird Nest put up. The incoming blowout, 53-3.
I would love it.
Incoming blowout, baby.
I would love it. I would love it.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. That would make my week. That would make my week. 53-3. Yeah, that would make my week.
Oh, yeah.
And we beat them we even beat them by 30. I think you go into Denver the very next week with that same mindset. This game could be a catapult type game, and we just blew out a team. Let's go to Denver and go into the bye week 8-3. Come out the bye week. I think we play the Chargers coming out the bye week.
Yep.
Chargers out the bye week.
That's gonna be a tough one.
Our only CBS game this year, by the way.
Oh, chalk it up. Chalk it.
Everybody's scared of the CBS games. We ain't have no quarterback before, though.
Yeah, that's true. I like this
31-17 Falcons, says William Amy.
Yeah.
Keith Simmons said 33-21. Our boy Tramel say 27-17. What you say, Chris?
I'm going to go 43-20.
Wow, a 40.
You gonna get them 20 points?
Ooh.
Oh man, trust me. The only reason I'm giving them 20 points is because everybody's gonna be sitting down and they're gonna get garbage points. That's all it is. But we still gonna have victory formation, hopefully, and that'll be the 3rd time this season. Can you believe we got 2 times already with victory formation?
But this time, victory formation to a handoff, and it's a touchdown. We got to get back at them.
Because I'm not mad.
I'm
not mad at that, bro. We get us all the way down to the 1 yard line. They think we finna do that. Hand it
victory. Nope.
Hand it right on off.
You know, be even better. Be better if Penix was in there. I'll take the knee, coach. Yeah. Right. Quarterback sneak.
Right.
Yeah, I think Penix will be playing in the 4th quarter.
Ooh, man. Well, I'll give you mine. I think like Chris's point, I think we're going to control the game a lot. I think they're going to get some garbage points because we're going to be sitting back playing soft coverage. So I have this game Falcons 28, Aints 24.
Wow. So it's that close, but I can't give him that kind of credit, man. I'm going 30 to 13. And like I said, they will run Taysom Hill, but once we find a way to stop that, I think the Falcons blow them out after that. Falcons always adjust pretty well the second half. They do it this game, shut them down the second half. I think they score probably 17 points in the second half and just close it out. So I'm going 30 to 13 Falcons. Keith said we got 3 top 10 defenses after the bye. Just think about that. Chargers, Vikings, and the Commanders.
Commanders. Yeah.
Think about that, man. And really the Raiders game on the back end of the schedule is not even really.
We will see our former quarterback that game. We'll see our former quarterback that game.
I'll tell you one thing. I made a preseason. I have my spreadsheet right here. The only games I've gotten wrong to this point are the Eagles and Steelers. I had them flipped. I had us beating the Steelers and losing to the Eagles. So up until this point, I even marked down that we would lose to the Seahawks. Okay. This game is marked as a W. We won't lose again until the Raiders. That'll be a trap game that we just, for whatever reason, lay down.
I forgot about the Broncos. The Broncos do have a top 10 defense. It's the reason why they are won some of these games.
That's all right.
So,
5-4, I think.
Quick throws. You know what? Pat Surtain, you go sit over there with Darnell Mooney. That's fine. We got Drake London over here. We got Kyle Pitts over here. Oh, by the way, you remember this guy, Bijan Robinson? I hope we take it to him because the guy that coaches that team, it's a lifelong hate for that guy.
Facts. Tony Rice said y'all the West
statistics. About Ray McLeod, who's gotten into the offense too, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And do y'all know that the Falcons have the only team to have two 500-yard receivers and a 500-yard rusher?
Right.
That's crazy. So, hey, that lets you know.
Oh, man.
Tyler ain't like crazy far behind. He's not crazy far behind. He have like another good game or two. He going to be right past it, too. And Kyle got almost 500 yards in receiving. So, man.
497.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And if y'all been a fan as long as I have, the last time we had 3 1,000-yard receivers in the same season, 1994.
Shit, I was in diapers.
Tell them about it.
I actually remember it. Andre Rison and Bertie Manuel and this guy named Terrence Mathis.
Oh, I know that.
I think I know that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I know all those guys.
I think somebody told me he was a coach.
Oh. He coaching now. Down at that Morehouse.
Yeah, he coaching at this school called Morehouse in Atlanta. Oh, wait, we in Atlanta. So hey, he down here coaching at Morehouse in Atlanta. But
lovely stuff. Hey fellas, I know we normally don't do this, but I got a question for y'all. If y'all just had to pick one coach who's on the hot seat, who would it be? Just one coach now.
Go ahead, Smitty.
Coaches on the hot seat.
I hate to say
as far as for us or just in the NFL?
In the NFL. Yeah, we're talking about an NFL question right now.
I hate to say it, but Antonio Pearson in Las Vegas. He isn't getting a fair shot because that team is shitty. But at the end of the day, the coach is going to take most of the blame. He's already had to fire the coaching staff, and he's going to be next. So I hate to see it, but he deserves better than that. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise. There's another name that I'm looking at too.
That's a given. He'll walk.
Oh yeah,
he won't get re-signed. He won't get re-signed. But for me, it's Doug Peterson.
Oh yeah. I don't
know how he still has a job. I thought he was going to be the first one fired. Honestly.
And honestly, I think that's why Ryan Nielsen went to Jacksonville, because he know that job gonna be open.
Right. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. For me, dang man, I really want to go 2 different guys. Darn it, Mr. Wallace. Yes, Mike Everflus. That was gonna be one of mine. Everflus is definitely on the hot seat, especially after what happened last year. They gave him an extra year and got rid of the quarterback. Got you another quarterback. Got you more weapons, and y'all still looking. Ugh.
But my thing with that situation, why the hell would you do that? You bring in a fresh quarterback, fresh #1 in the draft, but you bring back the same head coach / offensive coordinator that wasn't doing nothing with the previous quarterback. Make sense.
Well, I will say is they brought in Shane Waldron from the Seahawks, right? I don't know if you guys remember seeing the tweet from Jackson Smith and Jake, where he was like, "Good luck." And we've seen the transition from Jackson Smith from last year to this year. He's all over. He had 200 plus this past weekend, and he's getting utilized by Ben Grubb. And it's like DJ Moore, who was supposed to be this #1, and he was climbing with Justin Fields. The new scheme, he's falling down. And it's like,
got rid of the guy that he had 1,000 yards with.
You know what though? Exactly. You know what though? I'm not upset. I'm sad for Caleb, but I'm not upset because of Ryan Poles' little antics, sweeping in and taking Montez Sweat and then laughing at the Michael Penix pick. You get what you deserve, but at the same time is you had Keenan Allen, you had DJ Moore, you have Cole Kmet, you signed DeAndre Swift. What was the point of drafting Rome Odunze? Why aren't you protecting? Why aren't you? Olaf Ashnu was right there. You need another tackle. So Ryan Poles, you get what you got.
Hey, I got a sleeper for you though. Since I'm gonna credit Mr. Wallace for taking Matt Eberflus, but I'm gonna say Todd Bowles.
Oh, you think so?
No, I don't think so.
If he makes the playoffs as a wild card team, I think he's safe.
If he makes the playoff as a wild card team,
I still think he's safe because they're still having a solid season, even with all the injuries.
Yeah, that's his thing.
They almost beat Kansas City last week, and then the week before that.
He's just got to.
But Smitty, we've talked about it. Situational play calling.
They should have went for 2. They should have went for 2 last week.
Saved you Chris Godwin. Situational play calling could have possibly you went for 2 and possibly not even had to worry about overtime. You know, situational play calling. Who knows? You might have got lucky down in the Mercedes-Benz on Thursday night against the Atlanta Falcons.
Nick Sirianni.
You know what? That's a sleeper one. That's a sleeper, I think.
Sirianni. It's not really a sleeper because look what happened at the end of last season going into this season. The players gave up on them last season. They got whooped in the playoffs. And then early this year, they looked kind of raggedy. Look at the game in Mexico City against the Packers. The Packers lost that game. The Eagles didn't win. Look at what happened with us when Saquon Barkley dropped that pass. I mean, the player, they just don't trust that guy, man. I don't
think that helped catapult us into the season, baby. I love it. Drop another one, Saquon.
I honestly think Nick Sirianni he on borrowed time anyway. Even if they make the playoffs, I still think he's getting fired because at the end, I think the owner is the one that kept him on board.
Yeah,
and as y'all seen, Jonathan Gannon, the Arizona head coach, he was the one that had the team riding high. When they lost him, it just fell apart.
It be some of that sometimes, man. Things switch up. They lost both coordinators, offense and defense after that.
Right.
That's tough, man.
But hey, man, it's been another great show, man. And let's just pray the Falcons come out of this on top because, like I said, the division game can be tricky. But again, another preview show in the books, man. Y'all know we will see y'all on Sunday after the game because that's what we do. Like I said, keep our boy Berto in y'all prayers, man. And you know that's all I'm gonna say about that. But look, y'all know what time it is at the end of the show. Please tell everybody where to find y'all.
Oh yeah, man. Hey man, score prediction, man. Again, closest person to the score prediction, man. I got something for you, man. So make sure y'all show up and make sure y'all be ready to respond, email, whatever I need y'all to do, man. Because I really be giving stuff away for real. But of course, man, A1 Forever Sports, the platform on YouTube.
Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. You can find me.
He froze up again.
Yeah, you guys can find me on TikTok, daily content, not just Falcons. We do a lot of film breakdown there, in-depth thoughts right there at Dirty Bird Central. On Twitter at BK Squared. You see the handle right here. That also, if you're looking for all 22 Falcons content, that's where you can get it, as well as daily thoughts. You get inside my head because I like to share everything, even sometimes when I get out of pocket. When I get out of pocket sometimes. But
yeah,
oh man,
yeah, it happens. But anyways, yeah, thank you guys so much for being here.
Yeah, man, I'm always getting hated on by StreamYard. StreamYard always doing me wrong. Nah, man, but you know, A1 Forever really on all platforms, man. You can definitely find me. TikTok is gonna be the real A1 Forever, though, man. Definitely pull up and come through, have a conversation, man. Thank you to all the supporters, man. Just got over 3,200 on the YouTube, man. So
I don't know if TikTok gonna be your go-to because you just got a million hit video. So you did.
You did.
Yeah, it happened. It happened.
That boy got a million hits on one video.
Let's go.
I think it's at like 1.2 million now. I was like my first I guess viral video or whatever. And man, shout out to the dance.
Don't be that. I appreciate you, Wallace, but don't be doing this. It is viral. It is a viral video.
It's viral.
No,
as y'all
don't
see,
be
man,
so modest.
As y'all see, I'm a very modest individual. I really am, man. I'm just humble, man. I remember where I came from. I still remember when my supporters was 15 people, and I knew all 15. So, you know, I just remember where I came from, man. And thank you, Mr. Wallace. I really appreciate that too, and man. Shout out to everybody. We do this content stuff for y'all, man, and I'm happy to grow not only with my bros, but with everybody in the chat as well, man. It's just, you know, real love.
And thank everybody for tuning in, man. We got up to 315 viewers at one point, man. So thank y'all for coming through, showing them views, man. If y'all, whether it's on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, hey, we appreciate y'all, man. But y'all know where to find me, man. Smitty Sports Machine on YouTube, Fatboy Slim _21 on Twitter. And I'm on TikTok as well, but hey, I got to figure out how to work that thing, man. Cause
yeah, man.
Look, I'm not young like they are, so I got to. It take me a while to catch on.
Me and Berto can't be the only ones over 1,000, man. We waiting on Schmitty, man.
Hey, look, I get it together. I get it together. Hey, I get it together, man. Trust me. But look,
we trying to get the Pro Talk numbers. You know what I'm saying? 40,000 or something like that.
Boy, look.
20 and a half.
Hey,
oh, my bad. I was just thinking into existence.
It's gonna be 40 and a half before you know it. But for my boy Bro Talk, for my boy Chris A1 Forever, and for our bro Berto, man, he'll be back Sunday, Bleacher Report and Atlanta Falcons post game. Until then, we're gonna holler at y'all because it's time to get y'all Wednesday night back, as my boy Berto would say. We will
stop bullshitting with yourself.
Are you out of control?